we've got an interesting joint venture called Make VR, and Paul Bliniak and Steve Hanstead will describe it. And when you guys come up, you know, this is a joint venture between two companies. Maybe give us kind of the little bit of the background on that, and then jump in. I think you may have a video as well. Thanks,
Do you want
guys.
to start with the background of the joint venture?
Whatever you want. You guys, I don't want to mess up your mojo. So
We can cover that, I guess, when we're done.
okay,
Right?
sounds good.
Okay. Well, I want to thank everyone for braving the early morning hours and coming out and joining us. I want to thank NVIDIA for literally giving us a stage to stand on to talk about Make VR. So, what is Make VR? Oh, the clicker. Do we have the slide clicker? Here we go. Thank you. Make VR is a fully immersive 3D content creation experience. It's an application that allows anyone to jump right into a 3D modeling environment and start making real content on day one. Now, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, so we have a little over 2 million words here we want to show you in the video to give you a sense of what Make VR is and what it does. So video, please. A little house music to help you wake up. This is the collaborative environment of Make VR. We're going to have up to 5 users working on the same content in a shared environment in real time. Thank you. Okay, so this slide is best summed up by telling the brief story of that mechbot you see on the left. Tom, an intern at Sixense, was a graduate of the Academy of Art in San Francisco. He was a 2D compositor. He never worked in 3D at all, never did any 3D modeling, 3D renderings, anything. After his first day of work at Sixense, Paul challenged him to come up with a concept that he was going to try and build in Make VR. He did a sketch of the mechbot that, long story short, after 15 minutes of training in Make VR and about an hour or so of playing around, at the end of his second day, he had completed that mechbot model, fully textured, material, colored, etc., which is really quite astounding when you consider that when we've shown that model to experienced modelers who work in Max and Maya, they estimate that it would take them about a week and a half to do it. So what that really points to is how Make VR addresses the recommendations and the requirements of people who are not experienced 3D modelers that want to come in and start building content. The tool is extremely easy to use. It's very easy to learn. It has a very low price point, and to be honest, it's just a lot of fun. It's fully immersive, and it's a blast to work with. So that said, I'll hand it over to Paul to discuss a little of the technical aspects.
Thanks, Steve. So Steve's right. Make VR is a lot of fun to build 3D content in. I hope you guys will come by our booth and have a look. We'll give you a quick training session and put you inside. But Make VR is not a toy. It's a tool, and your objects will have a life outside of the program. You'll be able to export your objects in a CAD form for import into SolidWorks and Pro E, or you'll be able to tweak your tessellations and export the polymesh for use in Max and Maya. This is a very high-level overview of what Make VR is and does. It takes a professional CAD engine, a very high-end CAD engine, with hundreds of man-years in development in it, and it presents it in a way to users that they can immediately understand it and immediately start working. So there's 5 minutes of startup, and then people are actually building things. This is maybe the most important slide for a group like this, for people thinking of investment. It's a very crowded space already in VR content creation. We're seeing virtual clays. Virtual clay is probably the most common thing that you'll see out there, but there's virtual painting programs, voxel-based things like Minecraft, some very cool things out there. The question is, how does Make VR fit into that terrain? What is the landscape? How does the landscape accept a Make VR? Thank you. And the answer is, Make VR is the only one amongst them that is a full-purpose general modeling system in which you can build anything and jump in initially, that also runs on any of the hardware, because we will be completely hardware agnostic. So I think that's a good introduction. Probably a,
Yeah, I think you're out of time.
Yep.
So
We're over time.